Yeah, I think something that is, and you can ask these three after we're done, but I think this is something that has been on our minds all year, but we tried to push it away a little bit. The words three-peat kept popping up in everybody's language, and we just kept having to say it game by game, and that wasn't an easy thing to do. And, we had as much adversity probably as any other year in terms of our league, and I think we handled it well. And this is the best answer for that adversity.
Becky, what do you think was different about today's game versus the first time you guys played Dartmouth?
Well, I think we started out of the gate wanting to win instead of getting off the bus and assuming that we were going to win, and that's something that we suffered from in the first time that we matched up against them. And it was actually one of those things where losing taught us more than winning ever could, because that was our motivation today. There's a big picture of the scoreboard of losing to Dartmouth from the second game of the season in our locker room. And after the game, we said, take a good hard look at that. And we knew the only way to get back to them and actually have some kind of recourse was to see them in the playoffs, and it just ended up being in the championship. So it was poetic, but it was nice.
Flora, your team seemed pretty fired up coming out of the halftime break. What did you guys talk about in the huddle?
I mean, we know exactly what we needed to do. It was just executing it. We had enough energy. We were battling the wind the first half. We were like, nope, we're going with the wind this time. And Dartmouth has to battle with the wind. So we were just like, we feel good, we feel great, we know exactly what we're going to do. We have great energy levels, and we just hit it from the get-go.
Coach, down 10, did you start to think that it's going to be the same road again, like Dartmouth?
No, not for a second. I knew that the wind was a huge factor for us, and that we just needed to bide our time and really keep possession and just move to the second half where we're going to have the wind at our backs. There wasn't a moment when I didn't feel like we weren't going to win, but we really had to glue some stuff together and fix it at halftime and use the wind.
Becky, what can you say about this year's senior class?
Well, they're sitting right here. Most of them. I mean, honestly, if you look at how long we've been a program, which is seven whole years, well, T's been around for about 85% of that, so she might be the longest running next to me. But for our seniors, if you look at our stats and you look at our production categories, they're topping everything. They're absolutely topping everything, and it doesn't mean that next year that we're not going to have athletes come in and be topping everything, but those are tough points to replace. You do not just go out and find a Flora running around, not in America anyway, or Tayler, or a Gary Helderson, or Ilona Maher. It's a tough thing to replace. We're gonna keep moving forward in the program, but they've been absolutely invaluable. I can't thank them enough.
Ilona, what does MVP mean to you?
I mean, it's nice to get. I think the person who gets the MVP, is really, a lot of times the one who scores the tries, but it's always those small moments that make the difference. I was able to score the tries because people were going into the rocks, because people were protecting, because people brought everyone in on each other. So it's great to be an MVP, but we all had a part in it, and I just kind of did what I could. And I mean, Tayler could have been MVP, Flora could have been MVP. We all did what we needed to do.
Ilona, you transfer here to Quinnipiac after your freshman year, win 3 national championships after that. What can you say about your decision to come here?
I think it's the best decision I've made. For me to find the strength to want to transfer, that was a lot. To find fill out the application and talk to coach, that was a lot for me. But I would go through that. I would go through, Norwich again. I would do whatever I needed to again to get back to where I am now. I think to be able to transfer onto a team with such great players, I sometimes forget that I've only been here 3 years. I forget that I haven't been with Flora for 4 years. I've just been here 3 years, because I just feel like I'm such a part of this team, and I don't remember a lot of times that I went to Norwich.
How important was home field to you guys for 8-0 at home this year?
I think that the idea that we didn't have a single home game last year, and then coming into this year knowing that we had a full-size field, and it's a beautiful pitch. The setting is amazing. You get the whole sleeping giant in the background. You have all campus when you face the other direction, and just knowing that people could walk out of their classes and hear us. Not even see us, but hear us long before they see us, and know that we were doing something great. I think that push really, really just let us know that no one was going to step on our home pitch and was going to beat us ever. And having the home field advantage just drove that even further, because when we get into championship season, our team's been here so long and we know what this is, so the upperclassmen can teach the underclassmen, hey, this is the way that it goes. And it's a lot on your body, it's a lot mentally and emotionally to understand that this is a championship, this is an NCAA championship, and you don't get the March Madness where you get a month off of school. You have to go to classes, you have to do this, but we're all here to help each other. So not having to travel for that and being able to do that and go to classes and having, you know, our professors understand that this is a huge weekend for us, and leading up to it, it was definitely an advantage. I just think we tried to downplay it as much as we could. We tried to downplay the idea that, yes, we had the home pitch, but it wouldn't matter where we played. We were going to play together and we were going to come out with fire.
Ladies, the first time, you know, you win, it's like, okay, the first national championship. The second time, it's, wow, we just went back to back, and now it's, you know, 1, 2, 3. Is there anything different or sweeter this time around?
I think it was harder this time around. Because the first national championship, you know, we wanted to, like, prove ourselves as a program, like, we are worthy of recognition. Second time, we were just like, Central Washington was in that time around, so we were gutted a little bit that they weren't in the first national championship. And then second time around, we were just like, we've got this. We want to win it back to back, but we want to also prove that we can beat this team that we've fallen against for the past 3 years. And then this year, as Coach was saying, like, three-peat Cape coming up throughout, and it's like we got the recognition, but there isn't a level of an assumption that we were going to get the three-peat again this year. But people don't realize that by the time it's your third year, people are gunning for you, really. They're coming out. They're not going to, like, give it to you easily. And, you know, that's something that us as seniors and, like, juniors and sophomores who were there for the second and first national championship as well, you know, we had to teach the freshmen coming in this year, like, nothing is going to get handed to you. You have to work every single day, every single training, and take it game by game. Just because you won the first national championship, just because you won the second, that does not mean that the third is going to get handed to you. You have to work your ass off for it.
I think typically people who are very into sports understand that, you know, going back to back is an incredible feat. Winning one overall is incredible. Going back to back is amazing, but going for that third one is always, that's the killer. That's where people get tripped up. That's where, like Flora was saying, the assumption comes in. People stop working. Something tragic happens, some type of adversity, and the team doesn't know how to deal with it or something like that. So I think our emotions after the game pretty much showed how everyone felt, that as much as we believed in ourselves and our teammates, that this was ours and we were going to go out there and reclaim what we feel is ours as national champions. That game meant so much, and being able to conquer such a goal for a third national championship together for the last time was something that was really special, and I think this program and this team will hold on to that for a long time.
Becky, you told me at practice that nobody wants to see Quinnipiac win again. Is it any sweeter, you know, proving them all wrong and getting this third one?
Is it any sweeter? I think they've kind of already answered that, but no, I think I was telling the truth when I said that. I don't think too many people wanted to see us win that, and fair enough, because you like the variety, and that's what's exciting about sports. It's like when everybody, not that we're UConn, but when everybody cheered when UConn lost, you know, we were feeling a little bit of that pressure. But, you know, I definitely think that, you know, the third one, this morning I got out the hats. 2015 championship, 2016, I was like, what's the third one going to look like? Like, I just started imagining it in my head. And that's something that we've really talked about, and I even talked about it Friday after the Central win, was just talking about that visualization of greatness and what that looks like. And we've worked extensively on having those conversations of what those final moments look like. I saw this moment, I don't know, we talked about it, that we've seen this moment. We've seen this moment happen prior to it happening, so that's a big part of it.
So, Coach, the question still hangs. Are you coaching a dynasty?
Yes.
You know, actually, I guess, you know, realistically, the whole point of us forming NYRA was for the good of the sport, and for women like this, and for women like Central and Dartmouth and Norwich and AIC and all of the teams in our league to show that women can play it and women can play it well. And the idea that we brought it here to Quinnipiac to give our absolute best, and that our team, and I don't mean just this team, I mean this team here at Quinnipiac, absolutely hustled and showed their best and was as professional as possible. Every single facet. To see all of you guys and the student media and everyone standing out after every single one of our games for 10 reporters waiting for us meant everything in the world to us, and that was a little bit of power for us to go into each game. But at the same time, seeing to have Andrew and to have Sarah and to have Ken just pushing to show what our product was about. I mean, we killed the social media game. We absolutely did. There's not a person out there in rugby right now that isn't seeing Quinnipiac on Twitter, because we hustled. The people in this room hustled. Katie Boldovich, our commissioner, she's brand new this year, and she wanted it to look good, everything from our medals to our tags to everything. And I think we crushed it. I think we absolutely crushed it. So as for your question of the dynasty, I think that's less important than what we've done for the sport here.
So I have a question. I'm looking for a little bit from everyone here. If you had to describe Quinnipiac rugby in a word or a short phrase, what would it be?
Oh my gosh.
Taylor's not going to take this one.
I think short phrase is the operative word. I don't know. So
Resilient, maybe.
Yeah.
Accountable.
Accountable, resilient, maybe. 3 pizzas. Is that one?
No.
I think speechless is a really good word. I think believe is a personal word for the team. A lot of people on the team would choose believe. I think a lot of people who know the team really well would probably choose believe. But I think for the outside world and for everyone who got to tune in and really see what rugby is all about for the first time, especially in NCAA rugby, I think I think incredible is a really great word, and I think definitely powerful. I think some of the runs and the tackles from both sides today, if people can see that, and people can see that, these intelligent student athletes from schools, small schools like Dartmouth and Quinnipiac can get out there and they get good grades, and we get into the gym and we work out. I think the idea that all that gets put together to put such a beautiful and graceful, hard-hitting game that people in America aren't really used to, I think powerful and incredible are 2 really good words for it.
I think a word that comes to mind is just determined. From the beginning when you started this program in 2010, and then coming in my freshman year in 2014, this program has continued to build, but that hasn't come with its challenges. We've had to adapt. Last year we had no home field, and we still won a national championship. We were adaptable, but every single game we were determined to make our stance and to say, hey, it doesn't matter where we are, it doesn't matter who is on the field, we are exactly the same. We are determined to play the game that we know how to play and to play it to a standard that we know how to play. And it's not just on the field, it's off the field, like, fighting for recognition and fighting for, acknowledgement. Like, we're just determined to keep pushing. And that doesn't come, it doesn't come easily, especially when you're down like 12 points, 14 points in a semifinal. You just gotta keep pushing on. You gotta be determined to keep going. So yeah.
That was 1 word, guys.
Excuse me. Short phrase, I believe, is what was yours.
We did 1 word. We just abbreviated it.
Anything? No.
Maybe like groundbreaking, or I just think that I think that we've really, to come into this program and everything that we've consistently been able to do, win the first one, win the second one, now win the third one. What we're doing for rugby in this country, I think, is a lot what all these teams are doing to get recognition from their school. All these sports, basketball, they've been around for a while. We're here playing a sport that, no one really plays. We decided in high school, let me go try this sport that's a full tackle sport for women. Maybe I won't do lacrosse. Okay, I'm gonna try the sport, and I don't know nothing about it. So, we're all of us rugby players in the country are just incredible women who are ready to try something new and to take a chance. And I think that all of us came to this school because we were ready to do something great with this sport and to make it grow in the country. So that I know that I'm really excited to see what this program becomes, and for our next class, the next class, to watch our old videos and to see, like, you're coming into a program that just won 3 national championships. So to see how rugby's going to grow and to know that we had a little part in that is everything to me.
One last question, guys.
What do you think the future is for this team?
Pretty bright.
Yeah. Very bright, yeah.
I think the part of that is we just saw that this was live streamed. This is our first NYRA championship that was actually live streamed and was given color, and it adds legitimacy to it. So that 8th grader, or that 7th grader, or that whoever is sitting home watching and saying, I want to be Ilona Maher, I'd like to be Flora Poole, I'd like to be Tayler Schussler. That's what this is about. So I think that level of exposure, and I talked earlier about us winning the social media game. Kids are watching that stuff. Young girls are watching that stuff, and it matters. So I think the future looks bright for the program, and I hope when people were watching the stream, they were saying, hey, maybe I'll send my daughter to Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
Or play rugby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play rugby.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.